Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to a channel. Welcome back to a Chicago Bears reaction. I know it's only preseason, but Lord, it feels good to be able to react to Chicago Bears football. And it's even better now that the Bears have opened their preseason at home with a 23-17 victory over the Tennessee Titans. Now I'm going to go over some things that happened during this game, things that I saw, what I liked, what I didn't like. We're all going to talk about that and discuss that in this reaction video. Boy, isn't it a good feeling to have some football back? It has been so long. Yeah! Ooh, feels good. And then it's even better that we start off with a win. But before I get into this game, leave this video a like as it continues to help the channel to grow. And if you are a first-time viewer, not subscribed, do me a favor, click the sub button and notification bell so you will not miss anything that I post on this channel. But let's talk about some live Bears football. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Well, we're going to go into the first things first. What were we going to see from this Bears offense now that Eberflus announced earlier in the week that the starters are going to see some action? Well, we saw two quick screen touchdowns from DJ Moore and Khalil Herbert. The first one, DJ Moore, I mean, that's why you pick up a guy like that. That's why when you look to trade the number 1 overall pick, you try to get a guy like a DJ Moore, because he's the type of player that can make things happen with his explosiveness and his speed, and we saw that from get-go. Now, I will give a credit to the offensive line and the receivers, others that did great blocking in that play, because when you talk about wide receiver screens, you talk about screen plays, of course, it's going to take good down the field blocking for plays like that to work. So the Bears did an excellent job of executing on both plays, because number one, when you have a wide receiver screen like that, it takes blocking. Of course, you need an explosive player to be able to do that, but it also takes down the field blocking and key blocking from your receivers and your offensive line, and the Bears got that, and DJ Moore was just home free. So I really like that. Then on top of that, the Khalil Herbert play, Justin Fields showed what makes him special, his ability to escape pressure, his ability to roll out and still make plays, not just with his legs, but with his arm as well, as he was able to get a little dump off to Khalil Herbert. And Khalil Herbert showed that that is why the Bears will kind of let Montgomery go and help Khalil Herbert in the fold, because he showed he can make some plays, and he did just that. Even though the ball was a little bit of a double catch, he still was able to make things happen. And even on Justin Fields' first throw, get him an easy completion, rolled him out of a little bit, blasting game, got up the field, first down. So at the top of it, Justin Fields was 3 for 3, 129 yards, and 2 touchdowns on both the Khalil Herbert and the DJ Moore. The offense was scheduled to see probably around 7 to 10 snaps, but when you get touchdowns quick, I mean, you get touchdowns quick. So which one would we have to see more snaps or the Bears to score points? I would rather see the Bears to score more points and get those weapons that they acquired this offseason and that they kept around involved, and the Bears did just that. Now, as far as the first string and the starters go, one player I was looking at in particular, it was the first round pick and Darnell Wright. Now, they had a toss play to Khalil Herbert on the outside, and Darnell Wright is a beast. Darnell Wright is an absolute beast, and he's a very quick tackle, and you can see him moving around, and he has very good strength, which is why they even took him in the first round anyway, and why they believe Jalen Carter wasn't the guy, because Darnell Wright is a beast. And I think he's better at pass blocking than he is run blocking, but his run blocking is nothing to slouch on. He is a very good tackle. At least in my opinion, I think he could be very good down the road, possibly great, because he has the work ethic and he has the strength and you can pull him, you can move him around. So he is one of those versatile tackles that you're going to need in the lineup. Left or right, you're going to need a tackle like that. Braxton Jones didn't look too bad as well. This offensive line, the first string, they played them a solid football game. And the running game with Roshan Johnson later on in the game, I really like some of the things that Roshan Johnson can do and what he can bring to this Bears offense, because he's a very strong back. He has some deceptive speed, and he's a guy that he doesn't have to get the load, because the Bears have Foreman, who's a bruiser back in his own right, and Khalil Herbert. I think having Roshan Johnson and having Khalil Herbert along with Foreman is a very good running back tandem, trio, and I really believe that in this game you saw glimpses of what Roshan Johnson can do. He doesn't have that wear and tear on him, as he was the backup to Bijan Robinson in college, so he didn't take heavy totalage, heavy usage. He still has some more fresh legs that the Bears can utilize in different spaces in this offense. Of course, later on in the game, you had P.J. Walker with his first pass being an interception, and of course, we don't like to see turnovers. And speaking of turnovers on the defensive side of the ball for the Bears, that is what the hits principle is. The hits principle is turnovers. And the Bears were able to create turnovers. Even though they gave up the football a couple of times, Velus Jones still hasn't found his hands in punt returning, for Christ's sake, because he did it again. Fumble. Tyler Scott fumbled on a catch and run, and the turnovers were just left and right. Interception, fumble, muff punt. Tennessee had their own turnovers, fumbles, interceptions. So that second quarter alone from both sides were just absolutely sloppy. But one thing you need to keep it down is it's preseason. Most teams, I just say most first preseason games, they are going to tend to be a little sloppy, as in you got first live action that's not in practice. You got first action that is against another team. And with a lot of the additions that the Bears made, a lot of the roster moves that the Bears made, that's a lot of things that's coming together as one first live game. A lot of new players, new system to a lot of the players that it brought in. So at the end of the day, sometimes the preseason is just going to be a little bit sloppy. But I would rather have that now, get that cleaned up now, than to have that come game one of the regular season against the Green Bay Packers. So which one would you take? And speaking on the defensive side of the ball, the Bears struggled to get after the passer last year. What did they do today? They got after Malik Willis and Will Levis for a total of 8 sacks. When the last time the Bears got 8 sacks in any game? And one defensive player that kind of stood out to me was Travis Gibson. Now, if you guys are not new to the channel, or even if you're new, I've always thought Travis Gibson was one of those guys that was going to be a bubble-friendly roster guy. A guy that kind of doesn't, I don't say fit in a 4-3 defense. I've always looked at him as a 3-4 type of an edge rusher or type of an end. But in this game, he was out to prove a point that he can get after the quarterback, and he is able to be in this rotation and be an integral part of this Bears defense. And he did very well. Tyree Stevenson on the defensive side of the ball as well. I love Tyree Stevenson. Very physical corner. He does better than man, and he's one of those corners that's going to hit. A lot of corners are not going to be that sure tackler or going to be a physical type of tackler. Tyree Stevenson is that. Now, of course, he dropped an interception, but he is one of those guys that is going to be a very physical corner. Something to add that this Bears defense needed was something very physical on that side. Now, of course, you had guys like Edmunds that didn't really play. So you're talking about a defensive side ball for the Bears that it wasn't everybody there yet. They struggled a little bit early, but at the end of the day, they got it all together in the second half, and they shut out the Titans the rest of the game. And that is something that I like to see, even though it was backups, even though it was guys like Dominic Robinson, who I think should be in the rotation at some point. Terrell Lewis, another guy that I started to stand out on the defensive side of the ball, that played very well. Jalen Harris. At the end of the day, the Bears got a lot of key contributors out of some of those late rounds, some of those fringe roster guys, some of those third, fourth string type of guys that got a lot out of. And on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, of course, you're not going to see all the tricks and the trades of it, of course, but I like some of the things that they were able to do. P.J. Walker, that's one thing I kind of wanted to see was how was he going to fare And one thing that he tended to struggle with a little bit was accuracy. He wasn't very accurate on some of his throws, i.e. the misses, i.e. the high throws, but he does have a good arm and he is a quick decision maker. But the accuracy tended to be a little off today, which I am not mad about. That is, like I said, this is preseason. This is the time to get your kinks out, get it out now, get the jitters out, get everything out now. But at the end of the day, the Bears prevail from a Titans comeback attempt, and they win their first preseason game at home 23-17. But that is all I have for you guys today. Make sure you guys leave this video a like. Comment your thoughts about the game down below. And as always, make sure you click that sub button and notification bell so you will not miss anything I post. APW Sports signing out. Bears win. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.